Hello. Hello, travelers. How are we today? Background music they even audible. There we go. Hey, Gemma. Hey, Dan. Dan got the first traveler of the evening. He technically won. My husband has subscribed to me for 2 months. Big shocker. I currently have a smudge on my lap. That's suddenly good. And Smudge is apparently feeling a little talkative. And Dan has subscribed as well. Oh my god. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, how are we all doing? I've had a hell couple of weeks, which is why I haven't been streaming. But I at least have good reasons. Woo, woo. I don't know if you can hear Smudge. I'm pretty sure you can. Smudged. Mudged. Are you a mudge smudge? Mudge? Keyboard had a your keyboard had a strunk. Sounds like a filter is cutting Smudge off. I honestly probably should. Hey, biddies! Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Dean. Big pre. We are missing out on her great wisdom. I wonder what wisdom a 3, nearly 4-month-old baby has. She's been teething, so I'm pretty sure she's... Oh, yeah. Everything baby geniuses? No, but I'm pretty sure she thinks she is one. Wow. By the way, she was quiet about 2 seconds ago. Just in case you guys were curious. She's been teething, which is part of the reason why I haven't been streaming, because somebody has decided that getting all of the teeth all at once was a great idea. She's deflating. Yeah. So she's got all of her teeth all at once, and it's been kind of hell. We're currently on, I think we're on teeth 5. Or the 5th tooth. That's how English works, is the 5th tooth. So we've been struggling through that. I got in a car accident. I'm okay. And we are headed towards 3 weeks of my car leaking gasoline. Gosh, what else has been happening?
Car accident.
Work got super stressful. Oh, my dog died. And let me see. Plus the teething. Oh. Smudge's oxygen monitor sensor died. So we use that. It's the Owlette sleep stock. Thank you, Dan, for the gifted sub. Thank you, Dan. So the oxygen monitor, it's called an Owlette Dream Sock, and it monitors... Shrimp got it, yeah! And it monitors her oxygen throughout the night to make sure that, Sid's... Hey, Kiwi. to make sure that she's breathing throughout the night. Yeah, that died. So I haven't been sleeping for the past 2 weeks because I keep checking on her to make sure that she's still breathing. Which obviously she breathes great and screams just as great. She's really trying to squeal. So that's been happening for the past couple of weeks, and then Hydra made me stream because he's like, you like streaming and it makes you feel better, and I was like, you're right. You right. It do. Smudge does have some hot takes. I'm pretty sure her opinion on cherry Tylenol is probably very opinionated. She's quite the opinionated baby. Especially while she's teething. She's been in fairly good moods though, which is great. So that's nice. And Hydra is gonna take her to bed here soon because she go to bed. It's good for her development. And now that we have the oxygen monitor, it's not as abstractly terrifying for her to go to sleep. So that's nice. That got figured out. Calling the insurance every day. Her current feelings on the topic of coconut and candy. Smudge. Shocking. Oh my god, little leggies. Yeah, she got a little leggies. Stream. Yay. Dan also got a 3 stream. Or Gamma got a 3 stream. I think everybody got 3 stream. Oh, we're missing Cozy Avatar. Ah, damn. Ah, damn. Oops. I knew I was forgetting something.
Also knew something.
There we go.
Couldn't tell what.
There we go. There I am. We're good.
Like baby?
Yeah, take a baby. Her pajamas are all set up and ready to go for her.
Okay.
Yeah. Dan says bye, Smudge. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Well, you gotta do the 9-9, don't forget. Okay. She has a routine. I just heard Hydra's laugh sneak into my ear, and it low-key scared me, lol. Yeah. Okay. Cabin news. Real cabin news that's not just, my life is currently, eventful. I have some hot cocoa for my warm beverage. It is still warm. Guys, let's all eat ice cream and stay past our bedtime. We'll film it and Smudge watch us having fun while she's in bed. No! It's so mean! We do that literally all the time, though. We've been eating Girl Scout cookies while she's asleep. It's been really funny. And we watch our TV show, and she just conks out. She's also currently giggling while getting changed right now. It's like the funniest thing. I'm just gonna end up talking about my kid the entire time. So, I have some hot cocoa for my warm beverage for this evening. I thought it would be pleasant. It is in my cauldron. Alright, you guys slip away. Bye, Dane. Have fun, fucker. And it's in a nice little... Be good, everyone? No. Cauldron mug. Very excited. I love my little cauldron mug. Got it from Target for $5. Now, the real important part. I got it on my warmer. Turn on my warmer. There we go. Is this blanket that I have been working on. It's the hospital blanket that I intend to wrap Smudge in when I give birth to her. And I'm only 3, almost 4 months late. So we gotta get cooking on it. That's all I'm saying. We gotta get booking. All right, let me see. What does everybody have for beverages? And thoughts and feelings on the McStay family, which is the topic of the evening. Oh, yeah, it's all twisted. Oh, it is also made with Lions brand yarn, green, mint green, I believe. The type is like butter. I had an Arizona green tea, but I finished it. That's fair. I have a McDonald's Sprite, but it's in the bedroom. Night Smiles. Night Hydra. Night Triples, apparently. Would you like me to also hold you in my lap? I'll tell Sponge good night. Night for you, Emma. So, does she pick up? Triples. She does a little bit. Okay. So, let me go ahead and begin with the McStay family. So this one I actually found out from Mama Moth. Mama Moth sent it to me. She was like, you would like this, and I was like, bet. So there is a warning, a nice little trigger warning currently. So everybody, please keep in mind, there is children death. So keep that in mind. So if you don't want to hear nothing about kids getting hurt, don't do it. Totally fine by me. Go on and enjoy your Friday evening. Now for those who do want to hear about what happened, this is where we begin. Let me act. You know what, let me get Sponge's oxygen. It'll bother me if I don't get it. Ooh, and a cough. Ooh, and another one. Ooh, I got it. Okay. Woo. Thank you for the trigger warning. Have a good night, Cozy. Happy to see you streaming again. Thank you. You can thank Hydra for that. He made me. You have a great night, Wee Wee, and I will talk at you later. Thank you for respecting your own mental health. Okay, love you. Bye. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Once again, another, just make sure everybody who's fully aware. You're cute, shrimp. Okay. I don't think I actually mentioned, but this this little PNG is actually made by Kiwi. And she's one of my best friends, and she's a good shrimp. Oh, it sounds like Smudge is not happy about going. Alright, so the McStay family. The McStay family consisted of Joseph, age 40, Summer, age 43, Giovanni, age 4, and Joseph Jr., age 3. And this all takes place A7. Hey, Kami. It's the peeps. How we doing, y'all? Alright, let me see. This all takes place roughly in about February of 2010. So let me go ahead and show a picture of the family. That is the McStay family. with their pictures at the time. And this is usually the picture that was depicted for everything on the media. So you can see the whole family. They're quite cute. They're very nice. Cool. Alright, so Joseph is the head of our household, and he owns his own business. He actually owns a fountain company that makes these like really pretty, like naturalistic fountains. Basically for like uber rich people, okay? The uber rich have these. And the entire point of them is just to look pretty and be. Oh, yes, poor smudge. And Summer was a real estate license agent. So they had some money. They had some dough kind of floating around. You know, they were not poor by any means. So, and they definitely enjoyed their money. Like, we're not saying that they were like humble with their funds or anything like that. They definitely used their money. They had a very nice house. They took a lot of vacations. And they were really kind of setting things up for their young kids. They had just bought a brand new house in California. Turn your mug a little. There's a reflection. Oh, is it that? Here. It's the lamp. Woo! That makes it worse. That makes it worse. No? Maybe. We're gonna go with that. Is that better, Gabriel? Yeah, it looks better. Potentially. Anyway, so they had bought a pretty nice house in California. A 4-bedroom home. So they basically had enough room. Couldn't see your face, but just in case. I appreciate that. A lot. So they had a 4-bedroom house, so it was enough for them, the 2 boys, to have their own individual rooms and an extra room. Because they were thinking about having more kids. So since they were thinking about it, but they weren't planning it. It was kind of more of like a, if it happens, it happens, is what I am understanding. So that's kind of the situation. That's the background on the family. You know, they had good money. They had a big house in California, very expensive. It was nice. I've seen the inside of it from videos and stuff. It's a cute house. It's a nice house. But, you know, meh. So, February 4th, 2010, a neighbor sees the family car leave the McStay family driveway. It was a SUV, so they assumed that it was just the family's 1996 white Isuzu Trooper, like a mid-sized SUV kind of thing. I should have pulled up a picture, but I don't have one. So it's a mid-sized SUV. There you go. So the neighbors just assumed it's another family vacation. They do take quite a bit of these. And they do tend to do them kind of sporadically. So, same day, at 8:28 p.m., this is the timeline. We are beginning our situation. Joseph makes a call to his business partner, Charles Chase Merritt. So he just goes by Chase for most of this, because I guess Charles Chase works out, I guess. But the call was not picked up, so Joseph, the father of the family, called his business partner, didn't pick up, and it went to voicemail. Chase said that he had been at the movie theater and was planning to call Joseph the next day because it was late, so yeah, call him later, right? Joseph was also a very good son and was known to call his dad daily. So he always called his dad, and they had missed that call that day. So on February 4th. At that point, nobody's heard from him, and the neighbor had seen the car leave. But, you know, hey, you're traveling a lot, right? Like, travel and stuff, and it's chaotic. You have a 4 and a 3-year-old. It can be kind of hard to, like, remember to call people. Chase then later tried to call Joseph back the next day, and no response. And then Joseph's brother Michael decided not to call Joseph because maybe Joseph's phone was broken, but to call Summer. And Summer didn't answer. So this is now getting like kind of suspicious, right? People aren't answering the phones that they ought to be. Then the family, the father, the brother, and Chase all request a welfare check from the police. Only to get the police reporting nothing happening. The house seems fine, the house seems normal, there's nothing crazy going on. There's no signs of breaking and entering, there's no signs of, I don't know, violence happening around there. It just seems like an empty house. So the police tell the family, basically, don't worry about it, you guys are stressing over absolutely nothing. And they probably just went on vacation. No big deal. But the family couldn't leave it alone, because why would you? Your family's missing. You're not going to leave it alone. So, I'm like rearranging things on my desk as we're going. Don't mind me. Woo! There we go. Okay. Spooky Ghost seat, yes. Hydra got it for me for Christmas. And it's supposed to be a pen holder, but I use it as a crochet hook holder. Because I am who I am. And I also have a lot of junk on my desk. But that's okay. So, the family is of course not listening to the cops on this because the cops don't know the family. They don't know the family history. They don't know anything about the family other than it doesn't look like anything happened from the outside. That's not enough for Michael, Joseph's brother. So on February 13th, now this is what, 9 days? 9 days, nobody's answering, nobody is picking up the phone, nobody's calling anybody. The police are saying, hey, it's fine, you guys just need to relax. And he just gets fed up. Michael gets fed up, drives to his brother's house. He's done. He drives up there, finds an open window from the backyard, and begins noticing things that are a little off. Things that wouldn't really match with the family and how the family operates, basically. So, the McStay family had 2 family dogs. And they loved their dogs. They took their dogs everywhere. But the dogs were in the backyard. Obviously very hungry. And, you know, the dogs have been outside for 9 days. They're a little rough. They're inside dogs. So the fact that the dogs were left outside means that it seems odd that if they had taken a family vacation, which wasn't unheard of, they would have taken their dogs. They always had taken their dogs. And something just felt wrong. Michael just knew that there was just something off about this. This wasn't a quick vacation. They left their dogs. They weren't answering their phones. Just something's wrong. The brother intuition, you know. And February 15th is now so beyond official. They're just like, Michael's like, I can't handle this anymore. My brother, his wife, and my nephews are missing. So he finally reports to the police that his family is missing. His brother's family is missing. And of course at this point there's no like real denying it from the police. This has happened. This is too long. What? Yeah, this is 11 days. 11 days nobody's heard from them. That's weird. And now we are at February 14th. So keep in mind this entire thing started February 4th. We are now 15 days past the point of when things are getting funky. And I don't know if everybody knows this, but traditionally in missing persons cases, you have 48 hours to find the missing person or else they're gone. Okay, so this has been how many days? How many hours? I'm bad at math. 336 hours. 336 hours passed from when things have gotten funky to now. So the police department finally get a search warrant executed to look at the McStay home. And not just the brother breaking into the house, doing a little B&E, a little baby B&E. So they enter into the home and find some bizarre things. There's no signs of struggle. There is no signs of things being out of place, things being broken, things being smashed. Okay. What they do find is a hasty exit. Not, oh my god, gun to my head, they're forcing us out, but eggs are left on the counter. Popcorn bowls are on the couch for the boys, like in their boys' kid cups. Just kind of looks like they decided to leave suddenly, but not, like, maybe be gone for a few hours, not 14 days. So, this is just not looking good. And remember this, people. Remember this, my travelers. Summer's prescription glasses are on the counter. Wait, let me just pull this up here. The prescription glasses for Summer. Her ability to see was left on the counter. Do we understand? Okay. So, prescription glasses left on the counter. During the investigation, the police have done their little snooping, their little snoopy, their little digging over here, and found that a lot of, found the family car, the white Subaru that we had discussed before, that the neighbor saw leaving, was found in a small strip center. So out in a rush, but not under immediate duress. Yes. See, that's the thing. Is that it was definitely like, they left quickly, but to me personally, it seems like if anything, it was a, we'll just go ahead and head out, grab something from the grocery store real quick. Dribbles! Dribbles! Hi! Dribbles is meowing. Hi! The baby is sleeping. You gotta be quiet. Yeah. Oh, you want in my lap? Okay. Come here. What? So, this is where the problem comes in. Is that it definitely seems like it's a let's run to the Target real quick kind of a situation. And not a gonna be gone for 14 days plus. This is Triples, by the way. Or at least her butt. So, they had accidentally... Kitty, yes, kitty. So, the police during their little investigation have found that this the family car was found on February 8th. So that is 4 days after they were missing, and 11 days past this point where they are searching for the family actively. Okay? So, at this point, they didn't know what the car was for. They just knew it was an abandoned car in a strip mall. So, now they know, oh, it's the McStay family car. So they're now talking to the people around the family, trying to get answers, as you do. As anybody would tend to. And Chase, Joseph's business partner, she's just did a little look up and meme at you guys. That's cute. So Chase, Joseph's business partner, tells investigators that, hey, Summer, Joseph's wife, been a little weird right now, just so you guys know. And I was like, what do you mean a little weird? And he goes, she's been a little weird, and Joseph has been getting sick. Like, suddenly sick. Right before their disappearance. And that Chase was now pretty sure that based on the weird sickness that was happening, just the weird Summer behavior, that Summer was planning on leaving Joseph and taking the kids. And that the weird mysterious illness, while he's not saying anything, it is or isn't anything, but just that it seems a little suspicious. Like it might be some poisoning. So if you ever find the family, go ahead and check. Also buy triples. Yes, I said bye. You left. Anyway. So now we have the business partner who's like, hey, when you find the body, double check it. And the police, with that information, the police are now extra looking at Summer because things are getting a little funky. And if she is poisoning her husband, she might have poisoned her husband, taken the kids, and gone to Mexico. That's what it seems to look like between the car, what Chase is saying. Makes sense. So they poke around into Summer's computer and find out that she has been learning Spanish just before the disappearance, and as well as internet searches of what documents are needed for children traveling to Mexico. So this all seems pretty logical, right? She probably, even if she didn't intend to murder Joseph, she definitely was going to Mexico. She was learning Spanish. She was going to take the kids. She was trying to figure out what documents are needed. The problem? What's the problem, you might ask? Seems pretty straightforward to me. Does anybody in the class want to wager a guess about what the problem might be? Do we want to take a guess at what the problem might be with this situation? Money? Not money, but I see your point. We will get to the money. Yes. The problem is Summer couldn't see. Her prescription glasses were left on the counter. Doesn't it seem kind of weird to leave for Mexico without your glasses? Oh, and did I mention that seeing, that's important? Yes, seeing is important. And remember how I said that it seemed like they had left their house quickly, but didn't seem like they were going to be out for a long time? No clothes were missing. Not a single sock was missing from that household. That means that they up and left to Mexico without Summer's glasses, without any clothes, and left their dogs. They're very sus, yes. But obviously, according to Chase, Joseph's business partner, this was perfectly normal. as the family was marked as missing. Of course, I moved things and now I can't see my computer. As the family is now marked as missing. And that is where we will take a break. For right now, so I can rest my voice. And when we come back, we shall discuss what happened to the McStay family. Okay. Okay, and we are back from the break. Had a lovely break. Got to take a minute and reflect on what we have talked about for today. Boink. So, where we left off is that 2010, February, the McStay family, as it appears to be to investigators and according to business partner business partner to Joseph Chase, that the family has left for Mexico and potentially even offed Joseph, and Summer had taken the kids to Mexico to escape. The problem? Summer left her prescription glasses on the counter, and they had taken no clothes, and they had left their dogs. All very bizarre things to do if you're going on a vacation. Not to mention the house had been left in a hurried exit kind of situation. You don't really leave to start a whole new life, and you don't really leave for a vacation and leave popcorn on the couch and eggs on the counter. So, where does that leave us? Well, that leaves us with nothing. Until 3 years later. On November 11th, specifically 2013. And where that leaves us is in the middle of the desert in Mexico, where a motorcyclist driving through the desert has found 4 shallow graves with remains of the McStay family. This is where we get into a heavy trigger warning situation. There are dead children, so please keep that in mind for your own mental health. So, the shallow graves of the McStay family was found in Mexico, just to the border, or just off of the border in Mexico. Quite literally the first town across the border. Not very far from where the family SUV was actually found. So this now completely confirms, without a doubt, that Summer didn't take the kids and go. And the police were called out to investigate, of course, as per usual. And it was found to be due to a homicide. Specifically, all 4 of them suffered blunt force trauma. So, now with this tragedy revealed, the family has some sort of closure, as in that they won't be finding their family, but at least they know what happened to them, at least vaguely what happened to them, but they could at least get the bodies back, mostly recovered. Animals had indeed gotten to the family as well, so they got as much of the bodies as they could and gave them a proper burial. So that gave some form of closure. But the real question is, what happened? Who took this very small family and ended it? So, the police decided to look at the last person that had been, who had talked to Joseph. And that would have been Chase, the business partner. So, now looking closely at the last person who had spoken to the family, which would have been Chase at 8:28 p.m., they find that Chase has a very long rap sheet. And between burglaries and receiving stolen property charges, the most recent was convicted of stealing welding equipment. Oh, and should I also mention that he owed Joseph $40,000? And that's only what Joseph knew about. This is a situation where, Gamma, you were correct. Where is the money? because when following the money motive, yes, yes, because when you follow the money, they had found that Chase had been forging checks out of the business account and deleting the transactions. So money had been transferred to Chase through cashing checks an unknown number of times, and an unknown amount of money was stolen from Joseph to Chase. Which, good gosh, doesn't that seem like quite the motive to me? I think so. So, this is now November 2013. We are now heavily investigating Chase. Chase Merritt, to be specific. And... sorry, adjusting. And 2014... November 2014 is when finally they have arrested Chase Merritt. Because I have pictures. There you go. There's Chase. The very pleasant business partner who would have nothing to do with this. Of course not. What? Crazy. During the trial, prosecutors said that the family was murdered with a blunt object and most likely a sledgehammer that was also found in one of the graves, which makes sense. It's a blunt force object, sledgehammer, boop, boop, boop. And interestingly, it seems like Chase was trying to delay the trial as much as possible in order to not actually go in front of a jury. He was firing lawyers left and right and left and right. And it was causing just tiny delay after delay after delay. Which doesn't really seem like something an innocent person would do. Wouldn't you want to get that kind of done and over with as soon as possible to clear your name? And by that point, it is now January 2019. Okay? So keep in mind, this is 9 years after the murders have happened. 9 years. We are finally going to trial. And it was almost slam dunk. By June 10th, 2019, Chase is found guilty of murdering the entire family. And specifically, the jury and the court pushed for the death penalty as hard as they possibly could. Which, I don't really care particularly about anybody's opinion about the death penalty. It is your own opinion. You have the right to have an opinion. But when you murder a 4 and a 3-year-old, two. But McStay was, McStay. Of course, Chase was trying to fight it as much as humanly possible. And in January of 2020, 10 years, a full decade after the murders, he was sentenced officially. And a stay was granted. And now he is currently serving life in prison without the possibility of parole. That's the end of the McStay family. This one's a hard one, especially for me as somebody who was just recently popped out a kid. No, yeah, I feel like at some point you forfeit your right to ever rejoin normal society. That is where a lot of people have their kind of controversial opinions, which is totally fine. You can have them. Everybody's perfectly allowed to have their opinions, but I feel that after a certain point, no. Just no. Sorry. There's a point in where you have proven past your point of humanity and empathy, and no. He can stay right where he is, and he will rot there. He tried to delay the trial as much as he could, and granted, he got time. But was it really worth it? Still got sentenced anyway. Oh, did I mention that his sledgehammer was missing from his truck as well? By the way, I just want to mention that. From his work truck. His sledgehammer was missing. Oh, and it just so happened to have matched the sledgehammer that was in the grave. Isn't that weird? And his cell phone towers pinged in Mexico, in that small town where they were buried. And he tried to fight it. He tried to fight it as hard as he could. And I feel like, personally, why he kept firing lawyers, well, everybody feels that it's to try to stretch it out as much as possible. I'm pretty sure every lawyer just was like, buddy. Bud. Do you know how incredibly bad this looks? Are you fully aware of how very bad? Very bad. And then he fired them because they probably tried to make him take a plea deal or something along those lines. As every lawyer, I don't think you could actually really find a lawyer that could have gotten him off on that, because that was dumb. That was big dumb. Yeah, that was probably the biggest big dumb I think I've ever seen. Bless you, Jack Jack. I mean, God, dude. So, the official theory on what they think happened, because of course Chase says that he is still very innocent, completely innocent, totally, is that what happened is that Joseph called Chase, probably left a voicemail or something along those lines, and said, hey, I know you're stealing money from the company. Chase probably went over there later that night, tried to smooth things over, try to figure it out. Hey, man, no, I didn't do that. What? Crazy. Various high-pitched noises. And Joseph probably said, I don't want you around anymore. You're fired because of your various criminal activity. And Chase probably got scared. Went to his truck. Took care of the situation. You reached a frequency your mic could no longer hear. Yeah. No, I realized that a little bit too late. But various screechy noises is probably what happened. But Chase probably went to his truck, grabbed the sledgehammer, took care of business, loaded the family up into the family SUV, drove it down to Mexico, which is how come the neighbors saw it on their camera. That was the SUV leaving. It also might have been his white work truck. Not really sure, but something along those lines. Took the car, left it there, drove back, and then tried to pretend like everything was fine. Until it really wasn't. He also buried the family somewhere that was quite remote in the middle of the desert. Even so that the motorcyclist would literally even said, like, people don't drive out there. It's really rough terrain, which is what makes it so great for dirt bikes like his. There's a lot of ups and downs and rough terrain. Makes it challenging to go through. And it's a really sad, it's a tragedy. I won't lie. It really sucks. And, I hope he's rotting in prison and enjoying his time. It's crazy that it took a decade. That's what gets me. It took a decade. Like, the fact that this was relatively recently solved, it's a pretty new case as far as cases are considered. Interesting. So yeah. So that is the end of that, and I actually, that would be the first that I have for coming back to start streaming again. And I'm very happy about it. I think that went well, actually. I think that went very well. I have a couple of fun ones coming up that I'm pretty excited about. We have a Queen Mary, we have a Fox Sisters, we also have a Betty and Barney Hill abduction as well. I've been doing some research stuff on that. And so that will be coming as well. I am also doing a little dibble dabble in the Radium Girls last time I streamed. So I need to finish flushing that out and getting that ready to go. Let me see. What would everybody like to see next time? I'm gonna go ahead and little poll. Ooh, I did a book report on that one in 3rd grade. It's fun. Oh, it's not fun. It's terribly sad. The Hill abduction. That one is also just it. Weirdly, I feel bad for Barney. Does that sound like I feel really bad for Barney? If you know, you know. But I remember next time. Alright, let me see. I could do the Hill production. I could do the Queen Mary. I could also do the Radium Girls. Alright, we're gonna do 2 minutes. We're gonna do a 2-minute poll. Poll should be active, I believe. Potentially. Boop, boop, boop. So, anyway. Well, yeah. No, I think I'm very excited. I've got some cool things going on. I also would really like to get my car fixed. We are headed into week 3 of me being without a car. Which is just annoying. And the Smudge's car seat was involved in the accident too, because like I had her car seat in my car at the time, which means that I don't have a car seat, and that's like the thing is that's not ideal. Yeah. And if you have a 4-month-old, like, she has doctor's appointments coming up. She also desperately, like, you need to kind of get her out of the house regularly, or else she kind of goes cabin fevery and she gets really grumpy. And I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. It's a lot. It's a lot. Also, you guys have tied the votes. Of course you have. You know what? I am pulling out my very fancy cozy dice. They match me. They're black with red and sparkles. And we are gonna go with Hill abduction is odds, and bot. Hey, I'm gonna ban you. Thanks. Bot, kill, murder, terminate. Does that mean that I'm big enough to finally get bots now? Wow. How fun. Okay. Anyway. Fun. That was fun. Hill abduction is gonna be odds, and Queen Mary is gonna be evens. We have 3. We are gonna be doing the hill abduction next time. Next time. Hill abduction next time. So, everybody look forward to that. That'll be fun. And I believe that is the end of our stream. A little early, but that's okay. I've got a smudging I've got to go take care of, and I've got to go make some fresh souls for her for tomorrow. Alright, let me see who we got to raid. And we'll go ahead and do that. I hope you all had fun today. Boop, 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 boop. You know what? I know this sounds silly, but we're gonna go ahead and we are gonna raid Yuffie. Yeah, Yuffie, it's Yuffie birthday. We're gonna go ahead and raid Yuffie because it's her birthday. And she deserves it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna raid Yuffie. And the message is gonna be birth moth raid. Alrighty, y'all. I think everybody, you guys have a lovely day. Go hang out with Yuffie and wish her a very, very happy birthday. She's a lovely vampire, and I don't exactly know what she's doing right now, but she's vibing. I know that. Onward! Yes, Gamma, we shall go. Alright, y'all have a wonderful night. Okay, bye.
It's your brother from another mother.
I made this cake. I made this. Oh my god, come see. It's a birthday.